The winger is worth £73 million, but he has offered an olive branch and Sancho is expected to feature in preseason at some stage. Welcome to Sports Info Extreme. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more videos. Sancho and Ten Hag clashed over public criticism from the manager towards the start of last season, ultimately leading to a January loan to Borussia Dortmund. It was widely assumed that Sancho would be sold this summer, but, after a fresh round of talks with Ten Hag, Sancho returned to the United squad, although he was one of several first-team stars who did not feature in the preseason defeat to Rosenborg. Asked for an insight into his conversation with Sancho, Ten Hag opted to keep the details private but confirmed the 24-year-old is back in contention for minutes. "As we said, we draw the line," Ten Hag said. "Manchester United need good players and Jadon is a good player. We have drawn that line and we move on." Despite welcoming Sancho back into the fold, it was recently reported that United would still be open to offers for the winger, although they will no longer be actively looking to cut ties this summer. United are looking to sell a number of first-team players to raise money for a summer transfer spree. Sancho had been expected to be part of that group, but United's focus will now be on finding buyers for the likes of Mason Greenwood, who is wanted by Marseille and Lazio, and Saudi Arabia-linked Casemiro. Joshua Zirkzee has been added to United's front line already this window, and there are currently no further plans to recruit in that area of the field, with club officials now focusing their efforts on a new centre-back, midfielder, and left-back. Talks are progressing with Bayern Munich over Dutch defender Matthijs de Ligt, while United continue to wait on a decision from Lille's Lenny Yoro, for whom a bid has already been accepted. The Frenchman is also a target for Real Madrid. Juventus is struggling to sign Jadon Sancho as he returns to the fold at Manchester United. The attacker has been one of the players on Juve's radar this summer as they look to replace Federico Chiesa with a better winger. After his fine loan spell at Borussia Dortmund, Sancho was expected to leave United following the club's decision to stick with Erik Ten Hag. His relationship with the Dutch manager broke down last season, which forced him to move on loan to BVB. However, in a blow to Juventus' bid to sign him, Calciomercato reveals the manager and the winger have buried the hatchet and settled their differences. Sancho is now back with the first team and is training regularly with the rest of the squad. The attacker looks set to remain at the club, which is a big blow to Juve, who wanted to take advantage of the rift between him and his manager to sign him. Joshua Zirkzee is another attacker that Juve was also looking to sign. The Dutchman has also chosen to move to United to work with Ten Hag. Juve FC says, "Missing out on Sancho is a big blow, but it was always going to be tough for us to sign the winger from United." Erik Ten Hag has offered Jadon Sancho the chance of a fresh start at Manchester United after telling the winger he has drawn a line under their disagreement that threatened to end the winger's Old Trafford career. Sancho has returned to first-team training at United and could be offered a second chance by Ten Hag after clear-the-air talks were held at Carrington last week, with the pair patching up their differences at the start of preseason training. The 24-year-old was expected to leave the club after spending the second half of last season on loan at Borussia Dortmund, having been banished from United's first-team squad in September after he accused Ten Hag of lying over the reason for his absence from the matchday squad at Arsenal. The United boss said Sancho had been left out after poor performances in training, but the England winger took to social media to reject the claim. After refusing to apologize, he was axed from the first-team group and had to train alone. As recently as May, United had intended to sell Sancho, but interest from Dortmund hasn't firmed up and Julian Brandt has been handed Sancho's number 10 shirt, leading to a reconciliation at United. Ten Hag was non-committal on Sancho's long-term future and didn't want to open up on his talks with the £73 million winger, but he has offered an olive branch and Sancho is expected to feature in preseason at some point. "As we said, we draw the line. Manchester United need good players and Jadon is a good player. We have drawn that line and we move on," said Ten Hag. Manchester United's preseason is well underway. The team has returned to training without the international players, as some of them are still playing in the European Championship or the Copa America and others are on holiday. The Red Devils' return to work has brought with it a reunion between Erik Ten Hag and Jadon Sancho. The two had several clashes last season. The winger left on loan in the winter transfer window to Borussia Dortmund because of his bad relationship with the coach. According to Sky Sports, coach and player had a positive meeting in which they talked about their past problems and agreed to move on. Following this development, the idea is that Sancho will spend the preseason with Manchester United, although this does not rule out his departure. Juventus and Borussia Dortmund are interested in acquiring the player's services. The only drawback for both sides is the price, as the Mancunian squad is asking for around €47 million and none of the interested parties can reach that figure. Ten Hag's side will play their first friendly in Norway against Rosenborg on July 15, but Sancho will not be part of the squad. The Briton rejoined the squad a few days later than his teammates and will have to wait to make his debut in a United shirt. Okay, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Please like, share and subscribe for more.